Iowa style is the mentality of a wrestler to score as many points as possible, always looking towards the pin. The goal is to embarrass your opponent and dominate every aspect of the match. Iowa style is a philosophy at the University of Iowa and developed by Dan Gable, the head coach of the Hawks from 1976 to 1997. Here is a short video to illustrate the intensity and domination of wrestlers with the Iowa style mentality.
I've always believed in explosiveness and aggressiveness. You put the two together and you put points on the scoreboard. You know, that type. He was ripe for the beating, and you didn't want to beat him. You didn't want to beat him. You didn't want to beat him. You understand that? You wanted a tie. And that's what you got, a tie. You didn't want to lose. You just didn't want to lose to him because he beat you twice before. You'll never win that way.
A true competitor remains aggressive throughout the entire duration of the match. Regardless of whether you win or lose, you have to be aggressive. Wrestling demands that you attack your opponent at all times. I have always had a reputation for being aggressive. That is the backbone of my philosophy. You've got to attack. If it doesn't work, use it to set up another move. The more moves that you attempt will increase your chance of scoring.
Gable pioneered the Iowa style as an athlete. In high school, he posted a 64-0 record while winning 3 state titles. At Iowa State, Gable went 117-1, losing his final match to Larry Owings in the finals while going for his 3rd national title. That loss, however, fueled his post-collegiate career where he won the 1972 Olympics without surrendering a single point, a feat that has never been replicated by an American. In 1976, Dan Gable took over as head coach of the University of Iowa. In 21 years at the helm, he led Iowa to 21 straight Big Ten titles and 15 national championships. He is still one of the most successful and arguably the best coach of any collegiate sport. His tenure was highlighted by the 9 consecutive championships spanning from 1978 to 1986. The 1987 season had high hopes. Gable had possibly his most talented team yet. They were led by national champions Roy Salger, Enrico Ciparelli, as well as All-Americans Brad Penrith, Jim Heffernan, John Heffernan, and Mark Sindlinger. Gable was so confident that he had a Roman numeral 10 sewn on the singlets and warm-ups of his wrestlers. Going into the national tournament, the Hawks were riding a streak of 10 straight dual wins and yet another Big Ten title. The great season proved disappointing for the Hawks, however, falling to none other than Iowa State. The quest for 10 straight was over. Guess you need something like this every once in a while to make you work harder, Gable said, following the 2nd place finish. For other programs and other sports, second in the nation is nothing to be down about. But that's the high-level mentality that the great Dan Gable instilled in all of his athletes. That's Iowa style. Iowa had one of the most talented teams in 1987. Winning so much and so often left the team blinded almost. Gable had to make some changes with how he ran his team. He took over the recruiting again and started paying more attention to who he brought in terms of character and work ethic, as opposed to pure talent. The changes Gable made gave way to a new era for Iowa wrestling. It would be 4 years before returning to the top, led by 2 sets of twins, Tom and Terry Brands and Terry and Troy Steiner. The Hawks won NCAAs in 1991. 7 of the 10 starters on this title team were from Iowa and without the credentials of many past recruits. The difference was work ethic, intensity, and doing things right on and off the mat. Tom and Terry Brands are known for being savagely intense competitors. They are the poster kids for wrestling Iowa style. That's one thing that hasn't changed about Gable's coaching philosophy. He went on to win 5 more national titles and set the points record at the national tournament in 1997. Following the record-breaking performance, Gable stepped down as head coach due to severe hip problems that put him on crutches for a few seasons. Many of the wrestlers that Gable coached are now head coaches at other D1 programs. 12 past wrestlers or coaches under Gable are presently leading very accomplished programs around the country. Dwayne Goldman from Indiana, Jim Zaleski is at Oregon State, Tom Ryan at Ohio State, Jay Robinson at Minnesota, Barry Davis at Wisconsin, Kevin Dresser at Virginia Tech, and Tom Brands at Iowa, just to name a few. They all take their best shot at capturing the Iowa style, the mentality that Dan Gable established and perfected as an athlete and coach. Tom Brands is currently the head coach at Iowa. Carrying the torch, Brands has won 3 national titles since 2007, posting a 157, 15-1 dual meet record. Gable doesn't come in as often as he used to, but even when he's not around, he's still here. Current athletes and coaches walk by him every day. He has a 7-foot statue right in front of the front door of Cover Hawkeye Arena. It mimics him calling stalling, meaning he's telling everyone who walks by to keep working and don't get hit for stalling. This translates to never becoming complacent, keep attacking and looking to score whether you're on or off the mat. Dan Gable has left behind a legacy that can be utilized in every aspect of life. Be aggressive and dominate everything put in front of you. Don't just wrestle Iowa style, live the Iowa style.